啲咩我哋可以傾下。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Venture track. This year, Delft goes virtual for the very first time. On this Delft virtual platform, not only can you listen to over 30 hot topics from more than 60 industry speakers, but you can also enjoy the excitement from more than 10 live esports tournaments and show matches. You can also visit over 30 industry startup showcases, as well as network with other online industry players and gaming enthusiasts. What's more, you can also try out 10 popular homegrown games developed by Cyberport community. And we would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our partners, including Adidas and Sanos as our rewards partner, Universal Production Music as our music partners, as well as supporting organizations for your support towards Delft this year. Delft is all about insights, excitement, and fun. Check out the new Delft rewards to win fabulous prizes after completing missions on the virtual platform. Now, without further ado, let's kickstart today's Venture section. The first panel discussion is on discovering esports talent and training. We are delighted to have Mr. Josh Ye, reporter of SCMP, to moderate this section for us. The panelists are Dr. Wallace Lam, Academic Director, Business Discipline, Vocational Training Council, Principal of Hong Kong Institute of Vocational Education, Kwun Tong. And we will have Dr. Lam Ming, Associate Head, College of Life Science and Technology, Hong Kong U Space, and Mr. Alex Tang, Sports Psychologist and Senior Manager of ER Esports Academy. Now let me pass the floor to Josh. Josh, please.
Hello, welcome to today's panel, and today we'll be talking about the discovery and training of esports talents. And fortunately, we have three very professional educators on the panel today to talk about it. And so yeah, with me here is Dr. Williams Nam, and then there's also Simon Nam and Dr. Simon Lam and Alex Tang will be joining us via Zoom. So yes, yeah, without effective discovery and training of esports talents, the development of esports is a non-starter. But then, so to really kickstart this conversation, I think really I feel like the public sector and schools are very important in discovering and training these esports talent. So the first question would be, because esports talents have traditionally been handled by private sectors and companies and all of that. And going forward, with more schools and public sector, going into it, what kind of role do you expect them to be playing? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks very much. So I think from a school to Hong Kong space, so we think that esports is a very new and cross-disciplinary industry, requiring talents from different knowledge areas. Because in our program, let's say, okay, so I usually simply put it in this way that except for the professional player, we try to teach students all other aspects about esports, including the network streaming technology, the esports ecosystem, and also the event planning. So because we see this is a very new kind of digital entertainment in the future, and it's really promising. So we think that for the teenagers in Hong Kong, they have a potential to develop a further career or knowledge in this kind of new area. Yeah.
Cool. Mr. Alex Tang, do you have any sort of insight to chime in with this one?
Yeah, as a recognized center from the offshore UK, we know that we see esports as a sports. Obviously, it's been involved in the Asian Games and etc. We hope that unlike the private sectors, we hope that we can bring in the right theories. We can have the recognized certifications from schools and of course the recognized centers from the esports, and in the future, hopefully that there are more research based on esports to contribute to the sports industry.
Yeah, Dr. Tang? Dr. Lam, I'm sorry.
Yes, for us, for in school, what we have is the students. So for school, what we can do is to design a recognized program for students to study. Which may be better, which is the QF level. In Hong Kong, we use QF level to recognize some of the recognized program to engage students to study this new area. However, there are many factors that affecting the enrollment number to what student to select that kind of program, because the perception of students will think that it is not a very professional area in that sense. And also the school teachers and also parents, also the obstacle to prevent the student to select that kind of student, that kind of program. That will be one of the problems that we faced. Another way that we can fit in the esports industry is that you can design some of the professional short course and certificate program for interesting young people. Like that, what the market is doing is to some of the professional diploma and certificate program that we currently running in the market and attract people to engage. And another way that we can engage, fit into the program, fit into the industry is that we can conduct some competition for those interesting young people that they can engage in that kind of competition, and we can collaborate with the commercial private company and identify potential talents who are eager to become esports talents, and then provide training for them.
Cool. Yeah, so definitely, I feel like all you guys are hitting the really hammering down on the fact that we need to sort of educate a lot of people that esports, the definition of esports is far extends just players, right? So that sort of segues us into the next question. What kind of talents that do you guys you guys think that are the most in need for the esports industry to really grow in a big way?
Yeah, so we offer the esports program since 2018, 2 years before. So through this year, we found that some of the techniques or knowledge learned from the esports program actually are transferable. So let's say in our programs, we spend quite a lot of time to teach students on the online streaming technology and also the online streaming equipment setup. Okay, so we found that in this year, so many of the industry, not only the esports, for other events, they all try to adopt this kind of online streaming technology for their activities or even learning or other events. So we think that the knowledge learned from the esports program not only confined to one industry, but they are transferable to different industry, especially after this pandemic situation. So we think they have a good potential. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Alex Tang?
Right. I think that we need to have some talents to be able to educate the society and change the social norms, especially like parents. We have to have some kind of talents to educate them, as in Hong Kong, unlike all other countries, for example, Korea or even in the US, the social norms for esports is quite different, and I think that one of the talents that we need to have is the educator. We have to educate the parents and the norms, as well as the policy changes. Of course, I think we need to have an all-rounded and recognized certifications, as well as the policy towards the esports industry in Hong Kong.
But like, what kind of talents, specifically, you think that can really help propel the esports industry into the next stage?
I think it's professionals like teachers. it's very important. They're still not certified esports trainers in the industry, so it's important to have recognized certifications for example, esports trainers. You know, some of the sports like football, they have like football A license, football B license, and esports, I think it's important to have that.
Yeah. What about you, Dr. Lam?
Yes, I think besides the player, the role of player, I think for the industry, we need some more talent in sport, especially in the game programmer, e-sport event organizer, and planner, and also the live broadcasting expert here. Just as Dr. Lam said, that it is a multidisciplinary industry. We need a lot of other talents in other disciplines to help the whole industry to grow, especially in the MC anchors training and also sport coaching, like this kind of role. I think in Ivy, we have a lot of program provides training for those talents for this kind of expert. Especially we have a high diploma program in game programming, event marketing and promotion, PR, and also sport coaching program. So I think we all have that kind of program, except the player-like program in our institutions. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So this also serves as a really good segue into just what Hong Kong can be to the overall esports ecosystem, right? So each different city has their own strength, and then what do you see is the Hong Kong strength, in terms of promoting esports?
Well, from our perspective, so
from the perspective of training and discovering talents.
As Dr. Lam mentioned, so one of the weaknesses of the Hong Kong esports industry, we don't have sufficient game development companies here, or this is not as usual, it's not a major focus for the esports program here. But on the other hand, for the event planner, for the business ecosystem, the new business mindset under the esports ecosystem, and also as mentioned many times, the online streaming. So for this kind of peripheral or the supporting talents that we think the Hong Kong teenagers could perform well. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Lam, any idea?
Yes, I think for Hong Kong, it is an international city and it has an open gate to for the Chinese to open gates to the world. We can attract more people to come over to Hong Kong, so that I think for Hong Kong, I think the strong point is we can organize a very big event, e-sport event in Hong Kong, rather than other country in the world. So I think our strong strength, you asked about the strength, I think Hong Kong is the best position to train up people to organize some e-sport event in Hong Kong.
Alex?
I actually agree with Dr. Lam, as Hong Kong is an international city, and a lot of countries in the world, players, coaches can easily access and come into the Hong Kong. I think to plan an event organizing in Hong Kong is is our strength.
So yeah, we have 3 more minutes left, and then let's just personalize, this conversation a little bit, right? As educators, what are some of the, your favorite subjects to teach in school, as well as, what are some of the, favorite subjects by students? Let's start with Wallace.
Well, our students, they are really interested in the esports, so-called business ecosystem, because they think that this is a very new form of kind of business operation. And esports is actually a worldwide industry. So not only confined to a city, but through the online broadcasting, every people on the planet can watch your game, watch your competition. So they are very interested in how to run an esports event. So what is the big business concept or operation behind? So this kind of a new business ecosystem they're really interested in.
Alex?
For my perspective, as a sports psychologist, of course, sports psychology is a very new subject and ideas to the industry, and I often bring in the concept of sports psychology into esports, not only to the performance of the players, but like to the addictions, gaming addictions, to the parents and child development.
Dr. Lam?
Yes, for myself, my background is from IT and also business. Therefore, the subjects that you ask is that I think game design and programming is still a very attractive program for the young people. I think that kind of people is already run in Hong Kong over more than 10 years. So it's still a lot of young people who want to study that kind of program. And currently, I am a business. I am academic director of a business discipline. Therefore, event planning and also other production and broadcasting program is one of the focus of our program. And also it is a very important for esports industry. Yeah.
May I have a point to echo
Yeah.
Alex? So I share with your point, Alex, that the parents and the teachers in Hong Kong are still quite not very open-minded to the esports industry. So I know that the Education Bureau is now more recognizing the importance and the future trend of esports program. So they will have some esports program for the secondary school student next year. So we hope this kind of change will move the way forward for the parents and teachers to accept esports. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just about time for our conversation. So just to wrap it up, today we talked about the discovery and the training of esports talents, and then I'm really grateful that we had this conversation, and let's hope that we can grow and develop more programs for young kids. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for the wonderful discussion. It's very inspiring to learn what the local institutions have been doing to nurture Hong Kong's homegrown esports players and taking them to the next level, and also to foster a robust growth of the local talent pool in esports.